Hello everyone, Mike Arnold here, co-founder of Path Trading Partners along with Bob Iacchino. So yesterday in Bitcoin we talked about this double top and we gave the three levels, lower probability since it was against the rotation zone, coming down to the 85.68 level, then reversing. Interesting enough, if you were paying attention, a nice little double bottom pattern at a key level, and look, this hit the 200 period simple moving average. Nice reversal pattern, strong reversal back up, coming up to our prior level again. This which we're watching 68.14 and selling back off. Let me switch to that 4 hour. We can now update some of these levels. I've already updated the next one. Let's just go ahead and update these two to give people a bigger picture of where it could be going. Again, you can always leave the old levels on before you update the new ones. So let's see here. Let's just give the bigger picture. All right. Right now, rotation zone's still in our favor. By the way, these levels are not valid anymore. It already hit the first one in reverse. So this 67.34 area is very key. Resistance now looking like it's coming support. So if we do pull back, next level is about 67.09, and then we don't want to get below 66.48 on a closing basis. Okay, and see, this is a pretty much, I call this a close right on. This is a little area. So when I give the exact number, don't go, oh, close at 66.47. No, we don't want it closing at like 66.20. That's what I mean by that. You can have a slight little variation, just like this was closed slightly above it and couldn't hold. Now this is a close way above it. This is a close slightly above it. So looking on the next rally, we'll be watching to see if we can get through 68.48. Then we have a major cluster at 69.43 and then 77,033. If we do close below the 20, watch for support coming in right around this prior resistance over here. So that was around maybe 65.40 to 65.60. 65.40 to 65.60 is the next key area we'll be watching for lower. But this has bounced back pretty nicely. We closed in the rotation zone still yesterday. Looks like we're going to still close in the rotation zone today. And the upper end, that 75, that 7,000, what was that target? It's hard to read on that chart. The upper target was 7,033. So that 7,033, now I can see it, is above the declining 21. So really pay attention to the 69.43 area. And then start keying in. Right now, the moving average is about 7,000, when it's going to keep dropping. So that's the next level you should really pay attention to for Bitcoin. Checking in on Ethereum. So we had this double bottom that triggered, eventually going through all the targets. So that was complete. So I'm going to show you something. Here's why. You can always fine tune your targets on shorter levels. This one, just want to say, we're not always trying to call the tops and bottoms, but see, it spikes through to the cluster, pulls back, spikes way up, and you could have used a shorter term projection like a 30-minute chart or something to come up with these other levels, but closes right on the level and then drops back down even again. Close right on the level, close right on the level, now dropping away. That's sometimes why you don't want to pull off these levels right away, because it gives you really good areas to watch for. So you have that cluster and you have this key 535 level. And it's been major resistance. Just has spiked through it, but it keeps being major resistance. At this point, I'm going to update the levels. And I want to see the bigger picture right now. So right now, so you came down. We got the 50. The retracement level was 517. The rising 21, all in a cluster right there. Finding support, bouncing up, finding support. So that's going to be very key. Right now, if this does sell off again, 520 is going to be very key. And we especially don't want to close below 517. Then we'd be watching for the lower levels if we close below 517. Right now, it's pulling back a bit. Watch for some minor support coming in at 533. Now, if we can rotate back up and eventually get through this 538, 539 level, watch for a return to about 550. Then the next cluster, 561. And look at this, 573 with the declining 200 period simple moving average, so I would not ignore that level. Let's check in on the daily chart and look also what it's been spiking into, that 21, the top of the rotation zone. That's why do not ignore the top of the rotation zone. Now, once we can get a close above this, let's see what it looks like. If we can get a close above this, we still have some minor resistance here, but this 561 should be a pretty good target, and that 573 should be good. And then above that, the 75% retracement off the sell-off at 584 with the declining 50. So those are your key levels above there. Again, if we do break below 517, I'd be targeting the 494 to 500 level on the way back down. At this point, I can move this out of the way too. And if we have lower, we'll review those levels later. That's what we have for you in Bitcoin and Ethereum, and we'll talk to everyone soon. Bye for now.